Hey, fat fish heads! It's time for another edition of the hottest new podcast on all platforms, Fat Fish. Sit back and strap yourself in for the wildest ride on the open seas. Now, flap your fins for the fabulous Fat Fish brothers, Eric Fish Snyder and Brad Grunny Grunberg, a.k.a. Snacks.
I love your moniker with the eating thing. Yeah, I love
that.
You know?
It's a burger, man. It's a burger.
Before we get to good, how are you, my friend? 67?
Good, number 67. I feel good. How about you?
Good. Before we get into the mishmash that happened last night and everything else, and the tag on our show is Fish and Grunny talk about a world gone crazy.
I like that. I like it.
Brad is in the middle. I'm gonna just say it. He's filming something right now, which I think is going to be a terrific show. I could be a part of, and he showed me some sides from it. It's wow. If I ever refer to Brad as Chunky Love instead of Snacks and Grunny, and the only guy I know has got 45 nicknames. You know, Chunky Love is just great because look at the guy. He's a Chunky Love. You know, if Chunky made a candy bar, they'd be Chunky that we had since kids, and Chunky Love with Brad's face on it. Look at that punum. What do you think, buddy?
I think, well, that's what I say, you know, with the people I meet, wink, wink, we won't tell them about the show yet. And yes, you're going to be involved in some way, maybe craft service or something like that.
Bartending.
Yeah, bartending.
Need drinks.
Yeah, I always say I'm Chunky and I'm all about love. So I'm Chunky Love. And you're going to have the best time you've ever had. And it usually turns out that way. Oh, God. You're smarter than me. You're the smartest guy I know. What happened last night? What was that about?
Well, you know, sometimes, and my mother, rest in peace, always says sometimes the anticipation is always worse than the actual outcome. Last night, shit show is actually the only adjective I could say. I didn't watch it live. I take my nap before I go to work, but you did. And I knew you were going to text me for this. And I get a text from Brad that says, oy vey, we're in a world of poo-poo. Because these are the two contestants last night. This is Donald Trump, okay? That looked full meth. I just ate a Tic Tac, okay? This is Donald Trump in one corner, and this is Joe Biden in the other.
Oh my goodness. Oh, cuckoo's nest.
Exactly. I thought, first of all, you had Jake Tapper and Dana Bash from CNN doing the moderation. They didn't do Biden any favors, and CNN's supposed to be a liberal network. You know, the 45 minutes into it was the first talk about, you know, insurrection, him being arrested. I thought Biden the first 15 minutes wasn't even there mentally. What do you think? What do you take on it? I got to be sort of in the middle because I don't want to piss off one on one side and one on the other. It's just I'm doing what the eye test is. What about you? What did you think?
I thought within the first 3-4 minutes, we were in big trouble right away. He just wasn't there. You know, I mean, you know, the lights were on, but no one was home. I love Biden. You know, it's just, sadly, it's time for him to, you know, they're going to pull him. They're going to pull him, I think. You see, there's one thing about life. Everything's got a window. And when the window closes, you move on and you teach, or you don't watch TV. It's very hard for people that I know that have retired to retire because they want to stay active. But Biden was so all over the place, mumbling, stumbling, and Trump was just lying. All the things, the fact checkers were going crazy. Everything is wonderful. When they started, when he went to the black jobs, what is that, Mr. Trump? The Mexicans are taking the black job. What does that mean? It was so unbelievable. And then they started
talking about Mexicans are taking the black jobs. Oh, exactly. That there's jobs. The job market is actually it's under this administration. And I have a lot of criticisms about this administration. I have criticisms about every administration, Republican and Democrat. Actually, the job market has been sufficient under President Biden. The one thing that got me was I watched Anderson Cooper just go at it with Kamala Harris
Yeah,
afterwards. And
I
I
saw
saw
it.
the thing, and it
Yeah.
was, why can't you admit that? And she said he was a little slow start, but it should be his body of work, not what he said. I think what concerns people is he's going to be 86 years old if he goes to this next term. It just looks like, again, from the eye test, that there's cognitive issues. And
Yeah.
Trump, Trump's Trump. Trump's going to say what he's going to say, doesn't give a shit. He thinks he's a Teflon Don. But there's still things to happen. We got 4 months, right? He's getting
Yeah.
sentenced July 11th.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't understand how these two guys are representing the United States of America. That there's not someone that's younger, I don't care if you're younger or whatever, that has that actually knows who Beyonce and Jay-Z are, that don't worry about their golf games.
Right.
Trump's like, he can't hit the ball 50 yards. Who cares? Who cares? We could hit a golf ball at 80 years old, 50 yards.
It was,
Go in the
yeah.
movie Caddyshack and hit a golf ball. I don't give a shit.
It was like two fifth graders arguing over, oh, I'm going to cut in line. I want to get into the cafeteria first. Who the fuck cares about your golf game? People are dying. There are two wars. What is going on? And this is okay. So here's my take. Everybody remembers the last thing they hear. Biden's wrap up. It was like an explosion. It was like, okay, you have 2 minutes to save this. You have 2 minutes to bring something, and he just was so tired. He was mumbling and stumbling. It was embarrassing. I feel so bad for him, but it's time. You got to go, buddy.
Okay, you say that,
Yeah,
but who do you have? Is Kamala ready? I hear your state
yeah,
that the Democrats are in crisis mode, and maybe
true.
is Gavin Newsom going to run? Because you got to do this quick. You got to do they have to have what's called an open convention. You just can't say Gavin Newsom's because if the Biden said real quick, I step down, then Kamala automatically is
Right.
the candidate. Does the Democratic Party want that? I'm
I
asking
don't know.
people at fishgrunny1@gmail.com. Give
Yeah.
me give us your thoughts. I
I think
mean,
I think it's one of three people: Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama, or Kamala Harris.
wow.
One of those three. That's what I think. But I'm telling you, the Democratic Party, the Democratic office, the phones are ringing off the hook. Is he going to get any better in the second debate? If he does one, no, no. It's just horrible.
And I know, everyone listening, Brad is a huge Democrat, a very huge Democrat, and it pains him to say this. I voted both Republican and Democrat my entire life. I've gone either way, but I think I go for the right person if the policies, are something that I think, or the way they treat people. I'm a people person. I, as a bartender, you don't talk politics or religion, so I don't want to piss people off because everyone everyone has their own opinion and they stick by it. But I know it pains you to say it, but I'm just going by everything I read and
Yeah.
see. And I'll watch the whole debate. I watched maybe 3/4 of it. I didn't watch the end yet.
Oh,
So
you'll see what I say. See what I mean. I'm a Democrat, but here's the thing: I'm not really into politics. I just want everybody to get along. We back each other. We're all one. Stop fighting. This is ridiculous. I mean, we got a lot of problems here, and we just got to come together and fix them. Because,
yeah,
by the
but you
way,
what you say is right.
these
But
years, and
unfortunately, in the history of human fold, there's been wars. Name a time where there's been peace on the planet. Not in our lifetime, not in
right,
Jerry and Sandy's lifetime, or
right,
their parents. And what they went through, what our parents went through, and what our grandparents went through with World War II, forget
right.
it. Why? This is what I ask you. I don't. This is a light show, but since you're so positive all the time, and we applaud that, and we get that from you as you drink your cloud water, and we'll talk about that. Um, why don't we? Why do we never remember what we did in the past? Because that's as that famous line: "Those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it." I'm concerned we're going that way. We're getting more violent. We're getting more angered. We're more. The people. It's like a ticking bomb. Don't you agree? You pick up
Yeah,
people in your lift. What do you see?
I see a lot of sadness. I mean, I see a lot of sadness. First of all, there's the have and the have-nots. Okay, there's the very extremely rich. There's no more middle class, and people are struggling paycheck to paycheck. And it starts with the economy. You know that, and it's just horrible. I mean, People want it, but again, people are traveling more than they have in many years. This summer, school's out, they're going places, which is great. But again, it's just on a daily basis. What I see is horrible. And by the way, we've been having such problems on the rails, the buses and the rails, all this violence, guns, shootings, stabbings. Now they're gonna put together the Metro Police on the trains and on the buses. They're gonna have their own police force. It's gonna take 5 years, but at least that's something you should have thought about a long time ago. Look at New York, Chicago, look up north, the BART. I mean, oh man, I'll tell you something, buddy. It's just like your granddaughter. What is she looking forward to? You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is generations, man. But it'll get better, hopefully, before it gets worse.
Yeah, right. Well, let's lighten this up. Part of the reason why I do this podcast is because it's so much fun, and this guy always is a bastion of positivity. I got positive wife, positive son. Sometimes I get in those low spots and go down rabbit holes. Brad brings me out of it. So you just hope, like you said, to all our viewers and listeners out there, that there's a, hate to use cliches, a light at the end of the tunnel when this is all done in November, and we come out better for this. Hey, Brad, you have a history. We're changing gears here. You have such a great history in the entertainment business, which is going through the shit show that I've never seen and you've never seen. You always keep me interested in this. But one guy that's been not a shit show for 5 or 6 decades is talk about this man, what he means to you, what he means to me, and what he means to everyone. And he's still at 93 years old has more marbles than. Here we go. Look at this picture, people. Look at that.
Well,
Talk
wait,
about
first of all, I got to correct.
Where was that taken?
Okay,
Tell
I'll
everyone
tell you
about this guy and his
first,
birthday.
yeah. First, I got to correct something. He's not 93. He's 98.
98.
Yes, sir.
Is your dad 90? Who's 93?
My dad's going to be 92 on Monday. Yeah, but Mel Brooks.
Clint Eastwood's 93. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. You drank all that cough syrup this morning.
No, cough water.
That is on the set of Life Sinks, downtown LA. The first, that's burrito all over my fucking shirt there.
Look at that shirt.
Look
at those man tits you have. You're sexy.
Yeah. I got hair. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Yeah. But Uncle Mel, this is how it went. I was waiting on him, and he was sitting with Anne Bancroft and his 2 writers. And he goes, all right, Johnny Cocktails is what he calls me. He goes, Johnny Cocktails, all right, deliver the line. All right, here we go. Hey, pal. I don't know where my next meal's coming from. And then I eat this burrito, and he's starving because he made a bet with Jeffrey Tambor he could live on the streets of LA. And they bet like $1, remember in 48 Hours, those guys bet $1. Trading places. Oh, that's right. Trading places. So basically, this was the day of my life. I was downtown all day watching, and at the end, we were losing light. We jumped in front of the taco stand, and we did the scene, and that hangs proudly on my wall. I have a wall dedicated to Uncle Mel Brooks. Now, here's a story what I did the other day. I hadn't seen him in a while. I found out where he lived. I went into the commissary at Fox. I still got juice there. And I got the same lunch that I always served him every day. Crudité, tuna sandwich on wheat, water, milk, and usually I had cappuccinos and stuff. And I brought it to his house, and I went to the box. I go, hello, yes, can I help you? Hi, I'm Johnny Cocktails. I'm Uncle Mel's waiter. He was napping, so I came back later, and he still wouldn't let me in. Would you let me in your house?
Yeah.
And will you let me in your house? And so I left it, and he called me. He left a message, and then he called me back again, and we spoke. And he goes, Johnny Cocktails, what are you doing? You're crazy. I go, Uncle Mel, you mean a lot to me. I wanted to give you the lunch. I was in the area, and I love you. And we talked. We talked about the business. He is so sharp. Trust me, he's no Biden. Okay, this guy, we're going
98.
back. 98 years old, sharp as a tack, sharper than you and I. That's not saying much, but
no.
Yeah, but it was great. I was so happy. And he says, Johnny, thank you. Oh man, you're crazy. What are you doing? I go, Uncle Mel, you can. It's so easy to be nice. It's so easy to be nice. And we talked about the business, how so many people are not working. A lot of people that he knows, I know, below the line, not above the line, below the line, the flower lady, the craft service guy, all that stuff. So I had a great day. I did that on Wednesday, 2 days ago, and it was so much fun. I blew his mind. And it was great.
That's great. You showed me. You actually said, Dave. Brad always sends me stuff and says for your eyes only, which I love.
Yeah.
And it's all his stuff that he does, and that's what he does. I mean, the guy. I first heard about Brad. He took $200 and went to McDonald's. Lauren Francesca told me that his old podcast partner and bought hamburgers. Hey, you can catch the Fat Fish podcast on Facebook Live, YouTube, DBTV, Roku, and Podbean is our listening source. Thank you to all our listeners. If you want to see it, know what we're talking about, view us. We need the views. And check out Fast Fish, TikTok at Fish 6134. Thanks to Wonderful Shucks Tavern. Great shifts this week. Johnny Cocktails Entertainment, Chunky Love. Right there, man. That's your Chunky Love right there, man. It's unbelievable. Now, I'm going to switch up something new. We're going to show memes. And there's a theme to each meme. We'll show it, and I'm going to ask you a question about it pertaining to your life, Brad Grunberg. Here's the first one.
All right, let's do it.
Now, this is about pulling. Now, I know this is right up your alley. About pulling pranks on people. Show the cloud water. All right.
That's so
Take a sip.
I got watermelon and ginger.
So do I, buddy. We're great minds. Great minds think alike. We should debate it. So, pulling pranks on people and stuff like that. I'm not really good at it, but this is what I saw that actually happened. I want to ask Brad Grunberg, I know on a set or somewhere you pulled a prank, and so let's imagine doing this. The fish weren't biting. I got bored and put these on a few trucks at the boat ramp. I'm pregnant. Call me.
Oh God!
Imagine the guy's with his wife and he gets, what the fuck?
Oh my God!
That's a good prank. Give me a prank off the top of your head you pulled on a set to an actor.
The greatest prank I ever did was my parents. When on April Fool's Day, I told them I met the girl of my life and I was going to get married. And my mom's freaking out. My dad's eating sushi. He's just going like this. And then my mom, and I told her, I gave her the ring. My mom goes, "Oh my God, you didn't show me and your sister." And then at the end, I go, her name is April. And then I said, "Want to know her last name?" I go, "Yeah." Fools. Gotcha. And my parents were like, "Oh my mom, oh, I kind of knew." I go, "Mom, you didn't know. I have you. My acting 101 came in handy." That's the greatest prank I've ever done. But I'm not a real big prankster. Are you?
No. Give me a prankster you've worked with. Give me a prankster on a set. There's always George Clooney's a huge prankster, according to everyone. I listen to Ocean's 11, and George Clooney's pulling shit on everybody. What about you?
God, who
you got one?
I'm trying to think of who really. I'm trying to think who really. Dave Coulier's a prankster from Full House. He's great.
House. He looks like a prankster.
Greatest guys ever. He's a prankster. Just depends on the setting, NYPD Blue, they were pranking each other. I did 5 episodes of that. It just depends on the people and what's going on. But pranks are great. You know what pranks tell you? You love that person. It's Uncle Mel Brooks, and Uncle Mel Brooks pranks people. In his movies you see. But Don Rickles taught me that. He says, if you make fun of people, which I do on a daily basis, I chop them up. You love them. You do love them. And if you don't say anything, you don't have anything to do. You don't want anything to do with them. Making like the Tom Brady roast was so good. It was so great. Nikki Glazer became an absolute movie star with her set. We need to laugh. Like last night, it was so sad, but people were making jokes. I saw on TV, people were in bars at watch parties. They were crying. They were laughing so much because it was so ridiculous. It was such a shit show. So I looked, I was really depressed. I went out and I was driving. I was just so depressed because of what I saw. I just couldn't believe it. But again,
let me ask you this before I get to the next meme, because you got me on a tangent. I think when you talk, if you could say this, because you've been very transparent, your narrative, as far as your honesty, is terrific. You've told us about the assholes you've dealt with at the Fox commissary, and I'll name the names. You said that Kevin Klein and Harry, what's his name?
Harry Hamlin.
Hamlin were not good guys to you, and that takes a lot to say that, because you're throwing people because you have the experience and they can't come at you. Give me someone you worked with on a set.
Well, here's the thing. When I make a promise to somebody, I keep it. There are a lot of stories I could tell and never work again and get my own podcast. No, I'm kidding. What were you gonna? What was the question again, sir?
Well, I mean, name someone, because you're like I said, you're so
open,
you're so huggable and fun. I know I've heard people say when Brad's on the set, it livens everything up. Tony Orlando said it on twice on our podcast. Name someone you worked with that was so serious. It kind of ruined it for everyone. Like, you couldn't. No. They're so serious. They're so method that, hey, you know what? We're having lunch right now. Loosen up.
Okay, so I was J.J. Abrams. He's the best. His birthday was yesterday. He put me in a show called Undercovers. It was about a married couple, Boris Cujo and Gugu. They were the first series with 2 African American leads. So I of course I was the head of the catering company, food catering, and I had a scene with Gerald McGraney. Okay.
Yeah.
What an incredible actor. Now, before we did the scene, he was off by himself, wouldn't talk to anybody. Okay. We do our scene and he is just unbelievable. I mean, firing all cylinders. And this was a big compliment to me. After we finished the scene, I look over him and he went like this. That was great for me because he's an incredible actor. I mean, this guy's a real Shakespearean. Oh. I mean, he's a method, baby. The other one was on Sons of Anarchy. I worked with Walton Goggins. Do you know him?
Great. I just watched him in Fallout. He's a star of Fallout on Amazon, or one of those Hulu or Amazon. It's a post-apocalyptic. That's one of these guys. Look up Walton Goggins. You'll say, I've seen him in every Tarantino film. But go ahead.
He happens to be a very nice guy. So the scene was the motorcycle gang needed a vote in Oakland, California, so they could open this brothel. And I was a councilman, but my job was I was a life insurance guy. So one of the motorcycle guys comes in and he goes, how you doing? I go, oh, can I help you? He goes, oh, yeah, I got money from my GI fund, and I opened a fudge store down the street. I wanted to leave you some fudge for, all the people on the street so you can, spread the word. I go, sure. But you know what? Here, you got to take it back. I'm a diabetic. So the guy goes, and then the guy's leaving. I go, why don't you just leave it for my customers? And of course I eat the whole fucking box, and they put shit in it and they knock me out. I'm knocked out. Right. Then they come in, all the guys in the gang, they take off my clothes, put me on a gurney or on a table, and they bring Walton Goggins in as a trans. They put the boobies on him. They put everything, the dress, the whole thing. Hi. So we weren't shooting yet. And I go, Walton, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Brad Grunny. I'm playing, excuse me, honey, do you know where I put my lipstick? I'm looking at him like, but he would not break. He would not break. He stayed in that character as the trans girl until we were done. And he got on top of me. I had nipple rings on. I was very proud of myself. I had a little bikini brief, nipple rings, and a ball in my mouth. So, of course, they never said that when I read for the part. They go, oh, you just got to put on a little something. A ball in my mouth, nipple rings? Well, that's a Saturday for me, basically. But no, typical Saturday. But I had the greatest time. And so the AD goes, all right, clear the set, everybody. Brad's going to get into his outfit. I go, excuse me. This show is very popular. Millions of people are going to see this beautiful body with these nipple rings. I don't give a fuck. Bring everybody back. Brad doesn't give a fuck. Everybody come back. So
let me ask you this. When did the restraining order end from Walton Goggins on you? Because that's your type of person right there, man.
We're living together in Malibu. Come on.
We're living together in Malibu. They just bought the fuchsia curtains together. Wonderful. I'm so happy for you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's move on. Okay.
Okay.
I want to ask you what you think of this couple because a lot of people think that this is where we're going. That's Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift. And Kelsey's pregnant.
Oh gosh, that's
The
funny.
inference is there is that he's really the. You
Yeah,
know what?
yeah.
I think that not only are they in love, I think it's great. People are pissed off that she brought him on stage. She was at Wembley for 3 nights, 90,000, and she brought him on stage,
Who
and he
cares?
danced with some of the choreography.
That's
Who
great.
cares? They're in love. Who gives a shit? Let them be in love.
She is one of the greatest people. No tats, does so much for people that
What's the
under
deal with the no tats? Tats are great.
no, no, not on
Oh, what?
a
Okay,
girl like that.
well,
But she Gracie Abrams, JJ Abrams' daughter, is a big singer. She opened for her, and she's been so supportive of Gracie. I'm telling you, I've heard stories about Taylor Swift. Incredible, just the nicest person, like Sandler. And you never know what she does for people. She's got more money than God, but she walks around and she that's her boyfriend. She's proud of him. Bring him on stage. All these jealous fucks,
it's
man.
haters. It's called haters. Who
They're
cares? And
all
I'm
just
a wait.
yeah,
Look. I'm a Raider fan. There's a Raider flag in back of me. We hate
right.
the Chiefs more than anybody, but I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about, if you're happy, you're happy. And you know what? She
Yeah.
brings, how many Swifty jerseys that they've sold millions of
Oh yeah.
jerseys because she's involved. The
Yeah.
NFL loves it. Speaking of the NFL, that's me. It's a football season
Oh
yet.
my God.
I,
Who,
I'm,
who
I'm
are
starving
you
for
looking at?
sports.
Oh, yeah, who
Hey,
are you looking at?
well,
Jesus.
I'm looking at you making love to Walton Goggins. It's great. I mean, you're in the back of a pickup truck, and
Oh
Brad. I
man.
told you I did not want a vanilla latte. God damn it.
You are
um.
you and the skeletons, man. You do a lot of
Well, that's me.
music.
That's I start because you know what, Brad. I would segue to this because when Bronny James becomes the biggest sports story in sports. I mean,
Right.
what a joke. I don't know how you feel about it, but
Yeah.
I was watching the draft and I said, wait a minute. He averages 4.2 points a game. I'm reading it right up now, think of the stat sheet.
Yeah.
2.1 rebounds, 1.1 assists in 4 minutes. And he's a second round pick in the NBA. I will tell you what happened. Dan Hurley did not take the Laker job because he wanted to be involved in who they selected. He's going to be a new coach, right?
Right.
LeBron could have opted out on June 26th, which is a couple of days ago. I bet you they made him a deal and said, will you come stay with us and play with us if we draft your kid?
Of
That's
course.
the only thing I could think is, I mean, I think it's a sweet story. LeBron could play with this kid, but
Yeah.
does it really help the Lakers?
Listen, I think Palinka's got to go. I think he's next to go after this season. I love LeBron. He wants to play with his son. The
That's
first time
fine.
ever. Yeah, first time ever. But listen, just because that happened, they have other problems.
Huge.
Huge other problems. So them drafting Bronny is great. I think it's a great thing. LeBron has done incredible things for the Lakers and the league, and he said to them, "Listen," and they ask his opinion on every move they make. What do you want us to do? I want you to draft my son. I want to play with my son. End of story.
Because if you don't, there's
Yeah,
5 or 6 other teams that want me
of
and
course.
will.
Exactly.
And he is a great player and he's a great in the community. I mean,
He
can't
is. So many
LeBron
people are
LeBron's
jealous
done the
of him.
community.
Yeah.
It's amazing the Lakers when Jerry West has passed away, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Shaq. Tremendous in the community. And that adds to I'm a Laker fan because I grew up in LA and I grew up with the team. But it also adds to the iconicness of the organization. You have players like that represent you. Don't you agree?
Totally agree. I mean, when you meet people like them, like you see them really out in the community, not just, phoning it in or showing up and then their crew films them and they post it. Like, Carrot Top, he was on our show. We did, at Sticky Paws, we did a live podcast with him. He does so many things for people in Vegas. He does so many people in Orlando. People don't know what he does. Those are the people that I love, and those are the people that deserve all their success. Don't you agree? Right?
Yeah. Here, look at this one. I found the human Shrek. When I saw this, I said,
No.
There's no way, Brad, could ever get this guy in Sons of Anarchy to play any kind of an Onyx Muse dominatrix scene.
Oh, she's so hot.
Soviet water polo player Petre Kako Mashonoversi with his grandson in 1990. If you could see that, look how big that guy is.
Oh my gosh,
he's huge. A water polo player. Water polo. How's he not sink? Look
exactly. How does he even swim? Oh my God, he's huge.
Podbean listeners, Spotify, get on there and look at this. We're 30 minutes and 17 seconds into the show. Usually that's what a Soviet weightlifter looks like, and we saw that and the Olympics are starting. Right. Wow. I mean, I said I can't believe. And if you when on your computer or phone, you can elongate that. He is so huge. I mean, water polo guys look like me. They're kind of svelte. I mean, that'd be a great reality show, right? Chunky Love and water polo. Chunky Love water polo.
You know how great a shape those guys are in, those water polo players.
Huge.
By the way, the Olympics are coming 26th of July. You excited?
No, July 1st, 26th of July.
I thought
this week.
I thought it was July 26th.
I think it's July 1st, buddy. I could be wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Someone chime in. It's coming in July.
Yeah,
we talked about it on our podcast.
Jesse Hearns, chime in. Tell us when the Olympics start, Jesse.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. What we liked about it, it's another added sporting event. Like I said, Bronny James is everywhere, and you're right. I don't want to look insensitive. I think it's great that the father can play with his son. But as a Laker fan, I'm more concerned with them winning. That's the point I want to make. Check this out. If my dad was still alive, rest in peace, Marv.
Oh, the best. What a guy.
This was the greatest football player he ever saw because he was a Giants fan, along with Lawrence Taylor and this and that. But check out this. I want you to read this. This is Frank Gifford. Read this. This is actually a magazine ad. Could you say this nowadays?
Dry sack on the rocks. It's a man's drink. Oh my gosh, a dry sack. Oh,
well, exactly. It's sort of like a vermouth type of
Is it? Remember? Oh, Frank Gifford, man.
What
he had the greatest career. Married a beautiful woman, and he was great. Monday Night Football. Was it Fran Tarkington? Yeah. Frank Gifford and Howie Cudell.
Well, Don Meredith. There was Dandy Don. They were great. They were great. And but it says dry sack on the rocks, a man's drink, and Gifford, the stud that he is. I wonder if woke culture would get crazy over that. You can't say that. Why? Because dry sack was really an alcohol back then.
Right, of course.
It is a man's drink. Yeah. Okay.
I
want your take on this. I want you to read this to everyone because I think this is the thing of our show today. We started out. Read it.
Before we work on artificial intelligence, why don't we do something about natural stupidity? That's funny.
Yeah, true.
AI, man, it's taking over the world. There's so many dummies out there like me. But what do you think about AI?
The AI, it just came out. That's why I said this. AI is trying to promote. They have a way of John Madden and Pat Summerall doing games right now, even though they're dead, doing live games, and that it scares me. It's not right.
It's a hologram, right? Holograms.
I guess so. Then they're gonna put their voices into like here goes Jalen Hurts back to pass. It's intriguing. It's very, 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 very scary for me. It is. I just don't.
I drive around LA. I see those autonomous cars, with Waymo or whatever, and I go, there's got to be somebody driving. Nope, nobody in the car. Nobody in the car.
Check out this meme. This is so great. I have a rather big favor to ask. There's two guys standing at a urinal, and one guy's got both his arms in a cap.
Oh, will you hold my junk while I go pee?
Hey, I'm going to ask you. This is a guy's thing, and we'll piss off some women. But you remember when you went to gym class in middle school, and when you went to uni? You remember the long troughs, stuff like that?
Yeah.
You had to piss next to a guy. We had a guy. I can't say his name, Bobby Rosenberg, but we'd take a leak, and you have to look. He would pull his pants all the way down to his ankles to piss.
No,
that kind of guy,
That's
and funny. I never. When I went, you pull your shorts down to your dry sack, let your thing fall into the trough. The Oakland I'm going to ask you your thing. The Oakland Coliseum. Just a just a monarch of a stadium and iconic. They had the troughs, right? And I would never, when I took Max to games when he was a kid, I said, we have to wait to go into a stall. I go, what? Because when you piss, some guy's pissing on you. He's turning around and drunk.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
fuck the Broncos. And his dick's going right on. It happened to me a million times, And so Max is like 12, 13 years old. Dad, I'm going to use the trough. I go, all right. Right? He's on the trough and you're standing like that. I come back and I go, look at the side of your jeans.
Oh, man. Somebody pissed on you, son. Welcome to the
men
world.
do. Look at this. This is so great. I always go to this because these are actually not Photoshop. Growing up in the 80s before all you pussies take over, the lady holding her kid and he's drinking a Budweiser. Isn't that great?
What went on in the 70s? I'm telling you. I
80s.
Back 80s, 70s, all the same. I wish we could go back to that era.
What are we drinking now? Tell us what we're drinking today.
Today and every show, this is number 67. We drink cloudwater.com. Cloudwaterbrand.com. Go to their website, buy yourself a box. It's so good. It's so good for you. It's so good for your gut. And I have a big gut. And they have all sorts of flavors. Mark and Barry, the owners, are great guys. And I'm saying, go to cloudwaterbrands.com, buy yourself a box. You'll thank me in the morning. So good, right? I wasn't even into this stuff, and now I can't stop drinking it.
Yeah. People write in and they'll say, Fish, how hot is it in Las Vegas right now? Because sometimes LA gets that marine layer. Let me show you a picture of Vegas right now compared. So really give you a visual of what's going on in Vegas right now. There's the earth. There's Las Vegas, halfway between the earth and the sun. It is baking here. We're going to get into 112. We're going to get 115 next weekend.
What?
Yeah. And
it's a desert, baby.
I love working at my bar. I love Shuck's Tavern. It is the greatest job ever. But people always use the weather as a topic of conversation to start a conversation. Hey, Fish, it's hot outside, And I get to the point, if I know someone well enough, I won't do it to a new customer, but I'll say, Jerry, Jesus Christ, if it's 43 degrees in July, then we got something to talk about. It's
right.
It's like going to the beach in LA in the middle of July and it's 85 degrees and there's beautiful girls in bikinis. And you sit there with your brother, your friend, saying, "Look at all these beautiful girls on the beach." No shit.
Yeah. Well, they got to start the conversation with you in some way, because
Right.
Yeah. You're not the funniest bartender like me.
But, no, I'm not. You make a great bartender.
No, listen. I've been to Shuck's, greatest sports bar in Vegas.
That's true.
Is it? Yeah. And I watched you work. You're incredible with the customers. You work the fucking bar you do like a Stratospheric. You do it, man. You're in the kitchen. You're back at the bar. You're making jokes. You're fucking with me. I was there till like 4 o'clock in the morning. You do the overnighter, but I'm telling you, man, the food is on point. The drinks are great, and it's just a great place to hang out, with your friends.
It is. We're a theme. If you're in Northwest Las Vegas, there's 11 bars. I count like 11 bars in a 3-mile radius. But we're a seafood joint. You can get jambalaya, lobster mac and cheese, cracked crab on that. We get the Dungeness and crab shelled with the hot butter and the Cajun spice or Old Bay. Phenomenal. Brad, look at Brad. Brad's.
By the way, does Little Farley still work there?
Yeah, sure. Still works there. Says hi.
He's a server now, right? He's a waiter.
He's a server. He just finished doing his 8 episodes of Cobra Kai, which is going to drop sometime in September. Right. He, like you, is very nervous. His mother's a talent agent, and everyone in your business is. I'm going to segue. You led me into this. Is just waiting. The strike's not going to happen with the IATSE guys. That's a great thing. They settled. Yeah. So that's breaking news, but it's time to get you guys back to work. It's not you guys, because if you guys don't work, it's all the hundreds of other people don't
below the line people. I want to give a shout out to Nikki Minks, talent manager. She's a great manager, really
great
good
people,
and she's got great clients. We love you, Nikki, and we love your family. Great people. And there's a saying going around. I talked to some big time writers who can't sell shit. They said to me, "Stay alive till 25." So
that's what I heard. Yeah. Well, that's that's that. Yeah, but let's
Yeah. By the way, I want to tell you something. I can't really get into it, but I believe I funded Slices.
Oh, that'd be
Oh my God!
great.
No, I had a
Yeah.
big meeting yesterday, and it looks good. It looks like really good, and
Nice. Good.
and
I
you're
read the
gonna
script.
and you're gonna
Uh,
play my trusty assistant in the pizza parlor.
Wow, that'd be great.
Yeah, we
The
got to
fish,
do.
we could do our podcast from the set and say, look, this is Fish trying
Oh
to be an
yeah,
actor. Yeah.
it's exciting, but I can't get into it. But again, it was a give and take, and
Yeah.
one person is going to write that check, and it's great. I mean,
Nice. That's
he's
great.
one
I
of
read
the
the script. I liked it.
yeah.
I gave it to a lot of people in the business, and it takes one.
That's all.
You bring that up. I love the people. I love the story about God damn it, the guy that wrote Field of Dreams. I'm in brain fart, but I believe the story was Phil Alden Robinson either directed it or wrote it. He was having a bad time in his life, and he became so not suicidal. This is a story, I believe. And his sister was in the business, and she said, "Look, we're going to go to this Hollywood party, and this script is great, and I'm going to introduce you to a few people."
Oh wow.
Okay. And he's sitting at what's like the fountain where the shrimp is, and guy walks up to him and says, "Hey, nice, I know your sister, and my name is Kevin Costner. I heard you got a great script."
Wow. See,
Bam.
he doesn't go to the party. That never happens.
And Costner
That's
reads the
how the
script.
world
But
works. Yeah.
but you look at look how Oliver Stone couldn't get Platoon made. He couldn't get it took Field of Dreams. You know the big one late for years? What was the one that was The Big Chill with
Oh
Kevin
yeah,
Kline, your favorite guy?
my favorite
That
guy.
guy wrote that when he was in his 30s and he waited to 51 to get it sold. So a thing like Slices, never quit. Never quit. You never
No,
know.
in life you never quit. Like I told you, Jerry Grunberg, my dad, 92 on Monday. Today is bad. Tomorrow, clean slate, brand new day. Never
Absolutely.
give up. Never give up.
Right.
Never give up.
Well, before we start doing some other stuff, I want to show you. I got a picture of a guy, and I'll do the scene.
You're not doing any more memes, are you?
No, it's not a meme.
I might jump. Okay.
No, don't jump. It's good. I like to get your take on it. We show
Yeah,
your
but
sense of
we
humor,
don't do
your sense of
1,000 of them.
humor, your sense of humor, and my sense of decency. So,
That's questionable.
when you see a film, and you always think of a moment. You think of The Godfather. What things to me is the horse's head off. If you didn't see The Godfather, and when Brando says, "I'll make him an offer he can't refuse." Who's that?
My grandma.
Oh, Nanny Klein. Yeah,
It's the greatest laugh ever.
yeah.
That's me and my
Okay.
nanny. I keep it right on my desk.
I love you, Nanny Klein. I wish I could, but I'm Nanny. Can I say what I want to say?
Oh,
And not
are
interrupt
you
me,
still
please.
talking? Oh.
Yeah, I go to Andre's and get the spaghetti and meatballs over. Put it on Brad's tab.
I love you,
I'm
Nanny.
going to show you something I always remember from this film, and I know I put you this because we're unscripted, so I put Brad in the spot. But I will name a film that I know you've seen, and then I'll say, name me the one thing you remember the most about it. You remember this at the end of The Breakfast Club? Remember Ben? Wasn't that great?
Oh yeah.
That Judd
Yeah.
Nelson, who played he
Oh.
played the basically the
The
thug,
hoodlum.
the hoodlum, and that day that was an epiphany for all those kids, and all their emotions came out.
Yeah.
He ends up with Molly Ringwald as a big soul. She makes out with her, and at the end you're hearing that great song from
Yeah.
Simple Minds, and he goes like that. Okay, I will name you three films.
Great movie.
Name
Great
three
actor.
films.
Yeah.
And Mel Brooks, because it's Mel Brooks Day.
Yes.
Name me the one thing you remember most about Animal House.
Animal House, when Greg Stratton comes over and says Dorfman's there, and Dorfman, he always shows up at the wrong time. Hi guys. Yeah, Kent. And then he goes, "Do you know Juglish?" He introduces him to all the Rushies, and oh my God, I lost it. And by the way, I was in Sorority Boys. This was such a highlight. Wallace Wolodarski wrote this movie and he directed it, Sorority Boys. And it was about these three sorority guys who dress up like girls to get into the sorority to meet the girls. So they dress up like women. Well, guess who they brought in as the fathers of? Well, I was one of the fathers. They brought in Niedermeyer. He was a father. They brought in Greg
Mark
from the
Metcalf.
Omega House. Remember Greg from the Omega House, the
Yeah.
good-looking guy. They brought in Mr. Kent Dorfman, Stephen First, and I sat with them during dinner break, and they told me stories about Animal House. Epic. How they went up there. Belushi had his own house. They lived in a hotel. Belushi had him over every Sunday for lox, bagel, and cream cheese.
Really?
Yes, Belushi was great. But Belushi, just to let you know, he did Saturday Night Live. Then he flew overnight on a red eye to get there on the weekend. They only shot on the weekends that movie, and that's how Belushi did it. He worked his fucking ass off, but they only shot Animal House on the weekends. His stuff. The rest of the people they worked during the week, but he did Saturday Night Live, so he had like he had double duty.
You
One of my
remember
favorite
that?
movies. One of my favorites.
Well, I brought that up, Mel, because Harold Ramis, that wrote the film,
Yeah.
credits Mel Brooks with just being the mentor, and Harold
Sure.
Ramis is with I think he was involved with Caddyshack, and he also wrote Ghostbusters. Stripes, yeah. My favorite scene in Animal House is when they're trying to defend themselves. That have that kind of like that what's it called, that clickbait trial, and
yes.
and what's his name? Eric Otter gets up there. He's the lead lawyer, and he goes, look, and you remember at the party they had, he bangs the dean's wife, right?
Right.
And he looks at the dean. He goes, look, did we have a party and take some liberties with the women that were there? And he winks at the dean.
Right. My second favorite scene is when they walk into the black bar, and he goes, Otis, my man.
Yeah.
And they look at it, who the fuck is that over there?
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Go see Animal House, everyone. It still holds its own.
The Nights. Oh, what a band.
Two more. These are Mel Brooks films. Okay.
Yes.
Give it to me. What's your favorite scene in Blazing Saddles? That I think is his best film.
It's definitely when they're eating the fart scene. When they're eating the beans.
Oh, I could play that. I have that. You want to You want to see Brad's favorite scene of a? You want to see what made Mel Brooks? Because when Mel Brooks did this, actually, let me see if I still have it. I don't think I still have it anymore. I don't. So when Mel Brooks did that,
well, tell him the scene.
Cutting edge,
They were sitting around a campfire eating beans. And then all of a sudden, one guy farted, the next guy farted, the next guy. Oh God!
Well, it was so ahead of his time. I'm going to say it.
Yes,
it's still, and I think Mel said in one of his, and I saw him with the Dick Cavett, that he had no idea Cleavon Little was going to say this, and they're trying to get in line to get badges, and there's Ku Klux Klan at the front of the line, and Gene Wilder, who we talked about, revered him so much last week on our show. His line, he played the Waco Kid. He says to Cleavon Little, he says, Bart, how are you going to get to the front of the line? It's 100 deep. And they're all Ku Klux Klan in front. He goes, watch this, baby. He turns around and goes, hey, where are the white women at? And they run behind the rocks. They beat him up. They put the Klan thing on, and they get in the badges. That was terrific.
That was Cleavon Little, very underrated. Great actor. Funny guy.
Everything about that. The fact that Mel Brooks is 98, you said, and he's outlived them all. I mean, Harvey Korman's gone, Cleavon Little's gone, Gene Wilder's gone. Most of that. Burton Gilliam's still alive, but Madeline Kahn is gone. She was great. Lily Von Shtupp.
Yeah, Lily Von Shtupp.
You remember she's singing that song? I'm tired of being alone. I mean, it was just.
All right. Mel is a legend. He has given us so many laughs. Right. Happy birthday, Uncle Mel. We love you. I love you. And I'll tell you, I hope for another 98 years.
Did you ever see History of the World with Gregory Hines?
Oh my God!
Give me. I know my favorite scene, the eunuch scene. That was fantastic. What was your favorite
scene? When he looks at the girl and he looks right and breaks the fourth wall and he goes, "It's good to be the king." That's a great line. Great line, right?
Good to be the king.
Uncle Mel. I love him. He was so fun to work. He was so fun to wait on because I just goofed on him the whole time, and he was with the writers, and Mel did all the talking, and I would just I always gave him free shit because I loved him so much. And this is kind of funny. This one waiter was new, and he waited on him. I guess I couldn't wait on that day. I was in another section. So he got the bill, and on the bill he put crudité, and he put all the cappuccinos and the yogurts. I hear across the commissary, Johnny! I run over, Uncle Mel, what's wrong? Uncle Mel, what's going on? Is everybody okay? And he goes like this. You know we have a deal. I go, Uncle Mel, I'll take it off the check. He was so great. I loved it. Oh my God. And then he gave me 3 parts in 3 films: Life Stinks, Robin Hood Men in Tights, and Dracula Dead and Loving It. And I was really loving it, a lot of people come up to me and they say, "Hey, Abbott," because that was with, his really good buddy, 8 is Enough, Dick.
Dick Van Patten.
Dick Van Patten. He played the Abbott, and they walked down. Good morning, Abbott. Good morning. Good morning, Abbott. And then I come up with, "Hey, Abbott," Mr. Abbott and Costello.
So let's go through the 3 films he put you in. Life Stinks. Life Does Not Stink with Brad Grubberg in it. Men in Tights. The sequel's coming out with him and Walton Goggins going through Malibu in tights. All right. What's the 3rd one? Dracula. Well, Dracula, any girl out there, Brad Singa, he'll bite you. Chunky Love likes to bite. All right.
So, Leslie Nielsen, Dracula Dead and Loving It. How great, Leslie Nielsen, man. Naked Gun.
We bring these people up that our younger audience don't know who they are. Go look at Leslie Nielsen in the Airplane movies. What was the one he did with the where's the crazy sleuth with O.J. Simpson's in it?
Naked Gun.
Naked Guns.
Naked Gun, yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
No, Leslie Nielsen, I did a couple of things with him. Really nice, very method. He just took comedy very seriously, and he was so good. A deadpan, Hey, don't call me Shirley, right? Stop calling me Shirley. Shirley, stop calling me Shirley. Remember an Airplane when he's in the cockpit?
Oh, that's great.
OJ,
everything he did was great.
Abdul-Jabbar, that is a great movie. Oh, I gotta watch it.
Go watch it, bro. We had a last podcast I did with the guy who hosted it. Was a lot more talented than you. It was friends with Robert Hayes. Robert Hayes was on the podcast, and like you said, and I want to hear the stories. You're gonna tell us some story about Animal House next week that was shared to you by Stephen First and Mark Metcalf played Niedermeyer. I can't think of the other guy. Remember, I could see his face. The guy who played Greg. The stories are so great. What happens behind the scenes? The airplane scenes are phenomenal. He would say things about who got drunk and who was fun, and just working with Lloyd Bridges is so great. Kareem was great, but he said Peter Graves was so great to work with, and Peter Graves was known for Mission Impossible as a straight, just a straight, detective actor. Right. And it was just you're right. You said last week we're missing the comedies. Before we do our testimonials, what are you hearing? What's the take you're hearing in Hollywood? Because this one jumps out. This one drops on July 3rd. Beverly Hills Cop 4 goes on July 3rd. What are you hearing?
I'm not hearing much. I know it's going to be good. Judge Reinhold was on the Rich Eisen show.
Yeah, I saw that.
He told some great Stripe stories about how Bill Murray wanted Harold Ramis to be his sidekick because they used to go into the trailer and improv lines and do all sorts of shit. That was one great movie. John Candy, Dewey Oxberger. Let me tell you that I want to tell you that actor. That can you believe Kevin Bacon was in Animal House?
He was it. That was his first role. Thank you, sir. I have another when they're slapping the shit out of his ass. That was Niedermeyer.
That was so great. I mean,
hey, you think of the actor's name and let's talk about the threesome. Keith, we love you. Down in San Diego.
Greg,
he gained some weight.
Greg in Animal House. James Doughton.
Yeah, he's worked. He did a lot of those Love Boats. He was also on Baywatch, I think, for a while.
Great, really. Yeah.
Good looking dude.
Not as good looking as you.
No, who is? Anyways, so we're talking about Keith Berman, friend of the show, my best friend's cousin. is fighting. He's fighting the C word, and he's battling so great. He's gained some weight.
Oh,
Never like Brumberg. He's never lost his positivity or enthusiasm. And our goal, if we segue
Berman.
this, if Brad and I get down to San Diego to host and do a podcast from the Nick Pasquale golf tournament, October 11th down in San Clemente. Nick Pasquale's parents, Mel and Lori, they have a golf tournament. They raise funds to give underprivileged kids college scholarships to schools in the LA area, USC, UCLA, Cal State Northridge. Therefore, we're gonna come and see you, Keith. And
Absolutely. We're gonna
and
party, Keith. You're gonna get over, and you're gonna get healthy, and we're gonna have a good time and celebrate.
yeah, and then we talk about Molly's challenge all the time. Graduate
Yeah.
friend Andrew Klein. The biggest tragedy in his life is his daughter took her life at a young age, and I think it's great
13.
that there's a they want to put disclaimers now on cell phones that I'm using my cell phone that the Surgeon General wants to do, saying that these could be very very dangerous in
Yeah,
its usage and
absolutely.
in its
Well,
language and
and we should tell the audience, Molly took her life because she was bullied to no end, and she couldn't take it anymore. Bullying has got to stop, not just in school, in life. People.
right.
My high school reunion. This wonderful girl came up to me, and she said, "Brad, tonight is the greatest night of my life." I go, "Oh, why is that?" She goes, "Because in high school I wanted to kill myself." And I said, "I'm glad you didn't, because tonight's going to be a great night." And she looked beautiful. She had a little sundress on, makeup. She was a nerd. She got straight A's. But that night, August 20th, 2022, was my high school reunion. She had the best time. It was funny. It started at 5:30. It ended at 11:30. I'm walking in my room, and all of a sudden, that girl and my buddy pop out from the pool area, all like disheveled. Their hair was all messy. I go, "What were you guys? Wait, you go back to what you were doing. They do what you do, but you make out with yourself."
I heard a different story. I heard that when you knew we were in high school,
Yeah.
she was walking by the men's gym because you're taking your basketball uniform off, and she saw you naked, and she had a real big meltdown. And now it's 20, 30 years later, and she sees you, and she goes, "Oh, thank God. It's the greatest night ever. I don't have to see you naked again."
Let me get a pen and write that bit down.
You have to write that down
That was
again.
amazing.
That is
Let me
act.
write
No,
that
you
down.
know what? That's
That was
soliloquy from
tremendous.
Eric the
You just
Fish
came up with
Snyder.
that. That's really
Yeah, I
fantastic.
remember that. Yeah,
Do
yeah,
me a
yeah.
favor.
Nice
Leave
comb
the
over. Look
comedy.
at
You're
you.
the
Yeah,
professional. You
yeah. I love your hair. You look like Joe Franklin. You prick. Come on.
Joe Franklin. Oh
Hey,
my
this
God.
is Brad Grunberg playing Joe Franklin. The Fat Fish Podcast is sponsored by Strites Matzah. He always said Strites Matzah. You know.
Oh God, he was great, right? Out of New
Oh,
York, Joe Franklin. Yeah.
yeah. Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Good
So let me
weekend,
ask you
man.
something. Let me ask you something. What's next? This world, man. We're going to end on a sad note,
Positive.
but I really believe that things are going to get better. Like,
You know what? We think things will get better. Just to pisses me off. No matter whether you laugh at what happened at the debate and you're
yeah,
concerned like we all are.
right.
This is pisses me off. We're all still American. Republicans and Democrats are Americans.
We're
Okay.
all one.
And
Exactly.
we're so divided, but actually we're all the same.
We are.
And same
We
as
all want the
people.
same things.
We all want the same things. People are all the same.
Yeah.
You could talk about Trump saying Mexicans and blacks and Jews and us and
Right.
and Hindus and Islamics. We're all the same. We all
Yeah.
have blood. We all eat.
We all go pee pee and poo poo. We all put
That's
our pants
it.
on the same. That's
It's
it.
a simple equation, and no one gets it. That concerns me the most. You ask me what's next when
Yeah.
we learn to figure out that problem, that mathematical equation, we'll get it.
I know.
But look, Brad, I'm gonna go in my pool pretty soon.
Oh,
I'm gonna
I know.
have
I've seen that pool. Very nice.
yeah, I'm gonna take my laps. I'm gonna think about how much fun this is. The slices thing is I'm so excited for you on this because like I said, when you break news like that in the podcast,
Yeah.
it means a lot to me. Thank you. So
Yeah,
you know what?
it's
You have a
exciting.
closing thing you want to say? Hey, you know what? Put that picture of Nanny up. Give
Okay.
me see that picture of Nanny.
My best friend right here, everybody. There she is.
Yeah.
My grandma.
Put it closer to the camera.
Okay. My grandma.
Sometimes I believe that people's energy. That woman, she's a beautiful lady. Mom's mom or dad's mom?
Mom's mom.
Okay, mom's mom gave you maybe the energy was put out and slices gets made because look, she loved her Shayna Boychik. All right.
Absolutely. That's how things work, man. They might not be here anymore, but they're watching over us.
I hope
Your
so.
dad is watching over you, and
know.
he's very proud of you. And
Thank
that's
you.
how life is. Live every day, everybody. It's not promised to you. Every day. Live it full, live it live, and live it. Make all your dreams. Go for your dreams. When people tell you, "Oh, you can't do that. It's too hard," you go for your dreams.
Bullshit.
They do come true. Hey, 67 in the books, man. How you feeling? I feel good. It's a good way to start the weekend. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Please do not drink and drive. Call a Lyft. Chunky Level pick you up. I love you, brother. Have
Love
a great
you too.
Fourth. Dave Linden,
You do too.
Home.
You've been listening to the Fat Fish Podcast, heard on all your favorite platforms. Until next time.
Danny!